Me and my wife Melissa have been married for 8 years. We have a house, 2 cars, and a dog together. No kids. Everything seemed great. That was until 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, as I'm sitting down ready to go to bed, my wife receives a text. She went to the neighbor's house to get something, so I look over to see what it says. It's from some dude named Andrew, and he texted her, "When are you coming over?" I become suspicious, because my wife never said anything about going out tonight. So I ask her and she says she's going out for drinks with some friends. I don't say anything about the texts. Eventually forget about it, until last night. She gets another text from Andrew, and this time I begin to read through their conversation. That night he asked her when she was coming over. Yet they that night, and judging from the texts, they more than once. I feel like right now. It seemed like our marriage was great. Now this. Ironically, we have an infidelity clause she requested on our prenup because she was cheated on before. I'm beginning to look for a lawyer. I won't confront her with any of this until the lawyer sets out everything. Hell, I might not even confront her about it. Just hit her with the papers then bounce. But this is eating away at me inside. I haven't told anybody about this. I want to, but people can't keep secrets. Any advice would be appreciated. Update. So I met with the lawyer and I really like him. He's expensive, but he has a ton of experience. I'm going to skip the meetings with the other two and just hire him. In terms of hiring a PI, he said he normally doesn't recommend it due to the cost, but considering I have a prenup in place, and she loses the house if proof of cheating is rock solid, and the fact I can afford one pretty easily, he says I should go for it. Heading home now and beginning a search for one. Sorio, forgot to update last night. Came home tired as so. Yet nothing really happened last night. Came home, ate, then headed off to bed. She told me about her day at work, as I pretended to care. She didn't try to initiate, so that was good. I'll be going on a fishing trip with one of my buddies this weekend. I need to get my mind off of things. Still looking for a good PI too. Update 1. So this morning, as I was leaving to go fishing with my buddy, Melissa said she wanted to talk. She didn't beat around the bush, she got right to it. She said that she has been unhappy in our marriage for months and feels like it can only get worse from here. She then said that she felt like a divorce was on the horizon for us, and that it would be best for both of us. At this point, I lose it. I tell her, why didn't you ask me for a divorce before you started Andrew? Sorry for the capstod. At this point, she becomes a deer in the headlights. She stammers for a couple of seconds, then starts bawling her eyes out. She says she's sorry, that she didn't want to break my heart. Well, sorry you wanted a divorce, you're going to get one. Literally minutes after she said she wanted a divorce, she contradicts herself by saying we should try to work things out, and that we should head to counseling. I tell her that she has to have all her out of the house by Sunday afternoon, when I return. Or else I throw her onto the street. I've already secured my valuables, so she can't damage anything of mine. So yeah, that's about it. She thought she could just get away with cheating and request a divorce. Nope. Story 2. I wished my GF who made it with AP, cause she's bipolar, all the best, and now she regrets it and wants me back. Hi everyone, this is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. I'm going to give a lot of details. I need some advice on how to evaluate the situation I found myself in. First, some background info. We've known each other for about 2 months, and we've been dating for about a month and a half. So we quickly became good friends after we met and decided that we want more. Neither of us are strictly heterosexuals, and both of us have had all sorts of serious and casual relationships before. We talked a lot about what kind of a relationship we want, and this is important, mostly because of her insistence. We decided that we wanted to be exclusive in all regards. I'm more experienced than her in pretty much all aspects of loving relationships, as according to her, she hadn't loved any of her previous partners, and her last long-term, 3+ years, relationship was outrageously toxic. The relationship we've had was basically perfect, and we agree on this. We're relatively smart people doing their PhDs in the same technical area, and we have more than enough common interests. We have talked about and done random stuff for hours without getting bored, made each other laugh all the time, listened to each other patiently, respected and emotionally supported each other, and simply enjoyed each other's presence even when we were not doing anything in particular. The sex has also been amazing. We were passionate, experimental, and quite shameless. I'm used to having open relationships, but having sex with someone else hasn't even crossed my mind since the beginning of my relationship with her. She also told me that she has had her best sex with me, and that she wasn't even really enjoying it much in her past, mostly abusive relationships. We desired each other all the time and expressed how much we loved being with each other. The thing she had with me, according to her, was her first normal relationship. There were literally zero issues in this relationship, and we were constantly saying that we were incredibly lucky to find each other. The relationship wasn't even ducking old enough to have issues. We even said that we might end up falling in love with each other, although we were aware that it was premature. We started using the word love more liberally at some point, but I'm not sure if we intended it in its literal sense. Regardless, I was envisioning a future with her. It was unlikely that the relationship would last long because of eventual geographical reasons, but even the idea of it was joyful. The cheating. She was out after some academic event, drinking with our colleagues. They decided to go to the guy's house to drink more. I knew the guy was interested in her and would probably make a move, but I simply trusted her to reject him because she was the one who got all jealous about my past relationships and insisted that we have an exclusive relationship. When they were at the guy's house, she started crying for some reason and revealed that she was in pain, and the guy comforted her. Later, she blacked out, the guy moved her to his bed, and he slept somewhere else. My GF woke up in the middle of the night, found and kissed the guy, said that she's sober, and they had sex. I know the guy, and the guy knows us and the fact that we were in an exclusive relationship. According to her, the first thing she did when she woke up was texting me. She said that she stayed there, had sex with the guy, and she's sorry. Shocked by the news, I wished her good luck for the rest of her life by texting back and didn't say anything else. After calming down a few hours later, I called her. She told part of the story above and said that she will come to my place tomorrow to explain the situation. I was just purely angry and frustrated, but also desperate enough to still listen to her. She came to my place the next day and told everything I mentioned above in detail. She said that she was indeed sober enough to make a conscious decision to have sex with him, but has literally no reason as to why she decided to do that. According to her, she just wanted to do it and didn't think about me at all. She said she's confused, regretful, disgusted, etc. I was willing to believe all that, but she also told me, right after all this, that she invited him to her place to comfort her again yesterday, right after I texted back to her. She has mental problems and a history of hurting herself, so she was afraid of hurting herself again and wanted someone to care for her. The guy was apparently the first option that came to her mind. They didn't have sex that night, but they had sex again in the morning, right before she left her place to come to mine. According to her, the guy was the one who wanted to have sex, and she simply didn't resist. Again, she doesn't have an explanation for why she let this happen. I asked questions like, what did this mean to you? What was missing in our relationship? What led you to make this decision? Her answer to all of this is that, in short, there is no elaborate reasoning behind this. She just did it. She thought a lot about what she wanted and why she made this decision. All she could come up with that she has no idea. Let me also say that the guy isn't like some super hot French guy that'd be understandably irresistible. The specific situation wasn't like that either. It's just a random dude that showed her some interest and appreciation in some random context, both of which she already had. We also agree that he isn't even attractive. Let me be very clear. All the crying and emotional release aside, we sat down and seriously discussed all the possible reasons why she would want to cheat on me, as if we were having a ducking academic discussion. We eliminated all options. She was crying all the time when she was talking about the details of all this, begging me to actually physically beat her and give her another chance, etc. Again, she was also saying stuff like she's disgusted with herself and that she's an irrational and mentally disabled person. She's indeed bipolar and takes medication for that, but I'm not sure if her mental disability had really anything to do with the situation. She's always been capable of making perfectly reasonable decisions, so neither this explanation of her nor her decision itself makes sense. The present. She doesn't want to do anything with the guy. According to her, she's disturbed to see him. She still wants to be in a relationship with me. She's even okay with a one-sided open relationship where I would be the only one who could duck W300 for whoever I want. I don't see myself just forgiving her and acting like nothing of significance happened. So I don't think I can be exclusive with her again. I offered her a fair open relationship instead where she could duck the guy or other random people. She doesn't seem to be interested in being with other people, but is okay with me being with other people. Rationally, I'm fine with this arrangement. I still want to be with her in one way or another. This ex is still good, and I think I can adjust my emotional stance in the long run. But emotionally, I'm still extremely angry, frustrated, and most of all heartbroken. I find it hard not to barf when I'm in her place, imagining the random guy on her bed. I don't trust a single thing she says anymore. I enjoy it a lot less when we're trying to have fun as a couple. I feel as if a particular darkness fills my soul when she says that she wants no one but me. I was getting more and more amused by her brilliance, rationality, and thoughtfulness before this. Now, I find it difficult to resist the thought that she's just a dumb duck who doesn't even have a consistent idea of what she wants when it comes to meaningful relationships. I sometimes also feel like I'm the dumb duck because I let her to continue to be in a relationship with me. I also blame myself for not being able to see her bullcrap insistence on exclusivity, and for letting myself to almost fall too deeply in love with her. I don't know how to make peace with my current feelings. I don't know if my interpretation of the situation makes sense. I don't know if I can't stop loving her at some point. I don't know how to deal with a broken heart of this sort. I have been cheated on before, but I have never been cheated on for literally no reason by someone I felt so close to my soul. I don't even have an interesting story about how I was cheated on in this case. Nothing about the case was interesting, yet it happened. Thank you for reading all this. My question is, what do you think? How do I understand what's going on in her mind? Does my decision of offering an open relationship make sense? How do I deal with my broken heart without being passive-aggressive and snarky all the time? What should I do?